Well, speaking of film sets, and I'm going to have to change the background to set up this next portion. There we go. It's of my opinion, and of quite a few people, that you, Jeremiah, directed the greatest Christmas film ever made, which is National
Um,
Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I can specifically remember back in 1992 in my mum's house, our older house. She gave me like a bowl of sausages because I do like a sausage. I'm not gonna lie. You know you want me to lie, but I like a sausage. And just watching this film and laughing my arse off for the whole time, to the point that ever since 1992 or whatever year I just said, I'm a liar. Uh, we have an annual tradition of we make a point of watching Christmas Vacation together every year without fail. So basically, I've got a massive thank you for making it. But the long-winded Lord of the Rings style Peter Jackson question is: uh, tell us about how you came to get that job, because unless I read wrong, that was your first film.
was
Was
yes.
that? Talk to me about the pressure of that, because this is what part three of a successful franchise. You've never directed before. It's Christmas films are always going to be watched permanently. Well, not permanently, but I mean annually. So, talk to me about your experiences of uh, Vacation and the legacy of it.
Well, first of all, kind of you to say that you think it's up there in the pantheon. I mean, my personal favorite is Bad Santa, uh, and just that's just because I like that. But doing that film, how did I get the gig? Well, I was developing a film at Warner Brothers, the studio, completely unrelated, basically a musical based on Amateur Night at the Apollo Theater in Harlem. So I was developing that. I had a lot of success as a commercial director, director of television commercials. So in that universe, I was somehow known, which is how I kind of segued into the kind of Warner's universe. And a lot of things happened in the development there, but they started to send me scripts of other movies, and one of the scripts that they had sent me was Christmas Vacation that John Hughes had written. I wasn't familiar with the other two. I hadn't seen them. I knew Chevy's work. He was quite a big star at that moment. And my own personal work was not related to comedy in any way, shape, or form. I'd never done a comedy. But I thought the script was great. And after meeting John and Chevy, for some ludicrous reason, they gave me the gig. And later on, I had asked the head of the studio, "What prompted you to give a first time feature director such, at that time it was considered a very big gig, someone who had never directed a movie?" And they said, "Well, you make nice pictures," you're referring to commercials, "and you're funny." So, by the way, I did not ask them while I was shooting why they gave me this gig. I waited till the movie was out and reasonably successful. So, pressure, not really. I feel more pressure when I'm not working, about working. When I'm working, I'm in a good zone. I guess you got to relate it to people who play professional sports. I mean, yeah, there's pressure of the game, but I mean, they'd rather be there than anywhere else because that's what they know. So there were, pleasures and pain. There was difficulties and opportunities, like there are for any movie. Um, Legacy-wise, you never expect a movie to last much longer than its opening weekend, but I tried to make choices that would outlast me or my aesthetic. I didn't want to make a hip movie, cool, hip, long lens, fast cut movie, even though I was known for that kind of style in commercials. I felt I wanted to do a kind of a classic, for whatever that meant to me at the time. And so a lot of the choices I made were just things that had a timeless quality. And I think there's with the film is now outside of me. I mean, I got to watch it. They re-released it this year or last year, I forget, where we could actually go to this cinema and see it. Granddaughter to see it in the cinema with a paying audience. And I hadn't seen the movie since it opened. So, it's not that I go and sit there sadly in my living room watching my own films weeping. No, I don't. I move on and leave it to the universe to decide if they like it or not. But it was one of the first times I got to see the movie in a way for the very first time. And I agree with you. I thought it was pretty funny.
Did you know, though, that on the set at the time that it was like, this is fucking great? Or did you think, well, maybe in editing we can fix it up?
No, I don't really think of that. First of all, I trusted the script. The script is great. So I knew, I knew the script was good. I really thought, well, it's up to me to fuck it up. Pardon my French for those of you of Irish descent who are scared of those linguistic segues. I really didn't pay much attention to much outside of deciding or instinctively feeling, is this scene funny? Is there fun, or is this scene emotional, given the parameters of a broad comedy, or an emotional base, foundation? If I felt it was, and I'd move on. I never really felt, oh my God, is this going to work? Is it funny enough? No, I just felt if I thought it was funny, maybe one other crew member thought it was funny, somebody laughed in the back, it must be good, right? Then someone in the universe would also find it funny. And that's how I trusted my own sense of humor or instincts, such as they are, to move on. And then when editing it was fun. It came together very nicely, I have to say. Was working with Jerry Greenberg, an amazing, he died a couple of years ago. Brilliant editor. And I think he edited Bullet. I mean, like, he did a lot of, or French Connection, one of the, like, Jerry Greenberg's worth IMDbing to see the scope of his work. And we worked later on a mini series called The Bronx is Burning about baseball here too. So I did, you don't look at the big picture. I mean, when you're working on a movie, you really work, you have the big picture concept before, and you have the big picture concept after your first cut. They say no movie is as good as the dailies or as bad as the first cut. That's Alan Davio, a great cinematographer, told me that. I always thought that was funny. So when people go, I love your dailies, man, they're really great, you just go, yeah, good dailies, okay, but that doesn't mean the movie's going to be good. So you just take it as it is. And then when you see it all put together, then you make different kinds of decisions.
But I've always felt that one of the things that really adds to it, on top of the actual quality itself, is the cast. Because it's not just Chevy Chase, but in supporting roles, you've got Johnny Galecki, who then went on to become this massive TV star.
The highest paid actor in television, yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who sadly I never got married to, but one of maybe the greatest female comedy actor that there's ever been. And then Juliette Lewis has like 8 lines as the daughter, and it's like, look at this fucking cast. Oh yeah, and also the guy who wrote Caddyshack is in it. What do you call him? Brian Murphy or Brian
Brian
Murray.
Bill Murray, yeah, Bill Murray's brother.
Yeah, and all this shit, and then you're thinking
And what
like,
about E.G. Marshall, John Randolph? These are Hollywood legends, right? Doris Roberts, you know what I mean? Like these are very. It was really, really fun to cast them because they're all at the time, for the most part, they were dramatic actors, a lot of them. And I mean, Julian, you know, she was on Saturday Night Live, I think, at the time. But you know, the parents were dramatic actors for the most part, and so they really embraced doing a broad comedy because I wanted actors to play it with a foundation of seriousness and not be yucking it up. You know what I mean?